control that mic in the sense the sound.
Oh, that's okay.
Maybe you can ask your IT guy. Otherwise, you can retain the same this thing as it is without changing.
Okay, sure.
Where is the video?
Yeah. Raju, the video is playing.
Yeah, video, sir. After 3 minutes, video will come again. Yeah.
Okay, because now the banner is there, 29.
No, banner after a minute or so, the video will be.
Okay.
We mixed it, sir. The banner and video.
Okay.
Okay. Sir, I think you got your quorum. Sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Why build buildings? Or cityscapes? Or homes, or offices, or malls, or schools? Why build anything at all? Because to build is to give shape to hopes and ambitions. Not just form to brick and mortar, but to make room for the things that truly matter. And when that is the dream, there's no resting on it. You just have to get out there and do its bidding. No matter how tough the going, you push back against doubts, against questions, and you make room for the impossible. Room for not fitting in. Because for the extraordinary, well, you've got to make room. We build iconic skyscrapers and landmark townships just so that we can make room. Room for passion and room for innovation. For aspirations and for vision. Room for bigger and better, but also for gentler and kinder. Room for determination and for love and all the things that we must make room for. Room for foresight and for delight. Room to thrive and to feel alive. Room for nature and for business. Room for greens and muddy browns and yellows and blues and pinks and all the colors you dream in. Room for the ethical and for the audacious, room for big and the bold and for subtle and the small, room for hopes and for prayers, room for the unknown and for the courage to go there. All the blood, sweat and tears, all the struggle and the grit and the grime, it all falls in place when the dream comes alive. So why do we build anything at all? Because when we build, we also make room. We are Brigade. In a world where we can make anything, we make room. Why build buildings? Or cityscapes? Or homes, or offices, or malls, or schools? Why build anything at all? Because to build is to give shape to hopes and ambitions. Not just form to brick and mortar, but to make room for the things that truly matter. And when that is the dream, there's no resting on it. You just have to get out there and do its bidding. No matter how tough the going, you push back against doubts, against questions, and you make room for the impossible. Room for not fitting in. Because for the extraordinary, well, you've got to make room. We build iconic skyscrapers and landmark townships just so that we can make room. Room for passion and room for innovation, for aspirations and for vision. Room for bigger and better, but also for gentler and kinder. Room for determination and for love and all the things that we must make room for. Room for foresight and for delight. Room to thrive and to feel alive. Room for nature and for business. Room for greens and muddy browns and yellows and blues and pinks and all the colors you dream in. Room for the ethical and for the audacious, room for big and the bold and for subtle and the small, room for hopes and for prayers, room for the unknown and for the courage to go there. All the blood, sweat and tears, all the struggle and the grit and the grime, it all falls in place when the dream comes alive. So why do we build anything at all? Because when we build, we also make room. We are Brigade. In a world where we can make anything, we make room.
Pradeep sir, good morning, sir. I can see you, sir.
Morning. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. And
Okay.
I request you stay logged in. Maybe.
Okay. I'm not logging out. I'm not logging.
Thank you.
You are next.
Madam Pavitra, can you turn on your camera, madam?
Yes.
I can see you, madam.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
So I'll go back.
Morning.
Hi, morning. Morning, Mr. President. Hi.
Belated birthday wishes.
Oh, thank you.
I saw it late in the night, so I thought I'll tell you this when it meets.
No worries. Thank you. So we can go on mute, Raju.
Yes, madam. You can stay logged in and maybe you can turn off your camera and stay mute.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
Fine.
Mr. Kurian, sir. Lakshmi, madam, I can see you, madam. Can you?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, madam. Yeah.
Now, how to get rid of this? Okay, this screen is okay, no?
Yes, madam. I can see you, madam, on this.
You can see. So I don't have to do anything now?
Yeah, you can stay logged in, madam. No issues.
Okay, thank you.
Kurian sir, I can see you also.
Why build buildings?
Very good. Thank you.
Or cityscapes?
Let me try getting onto
Or
it from
homes,
my
or offices, or
iPad.
malls, or schools? Why build anything at all? Because to build is to give shape to hopes and ambitions. Not just form to brick and mortar, but to make room for the things that truly matter. And when that is the dream, there's no resting on it. You just have to get out there and do its bidding. No matter how tough the going, you push back against doubts, against questions, and you make room for the impossible. Room for not fitting in. Because for the extraordinary, well, you've got to make room. We build iconic skyscrapers and landmark townships just so that we can make room. Room for passion and room for innovation. For aspirations and for vision. Room for bigger and better, but also for gentler and kinder. Room for determination and for love and all the things that we must make room for. Room for foresight and for delight. Room to thrive and to feel alive. Room for nature and for business. Room for greens and muddy browns and yellows and blues and pinks and all the colors you dream in. Room for the ethical and for the audacious, room for big and the bold and for subtle and the small, room for hopes and for prayers, room for the unknown and for the courage to go there. All the blood, sweat and tears, all the struggle and the grit and the grime, it all falls in place when the dream comes alive. So why do we build anything at all? Because when we build, we also make room. We are Brigade. In a world where we can make anything, we make room.
Om, can you hear me?
Yeah, your voice is loud and clear, Amar.
Okay, thank you. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning all.
Morning all.
Why build buildings? Or cityscapes? Or homes, or offices, or malls, or schools? Why build anything at all? Because to build is to give shape to hopes and ambitions. Not just form to brick and mortar, but to make room for the things that truly matter. And when that is the dream, there's no resting on it. You just have to get out there and do its bidding. No matter how tough the going, you push back against doubts, against questions, and you make room for the impossible. Room for not fitting in. Because for the extraordinary, well, you've got to make room. We build iconic skyscrapers and landmark townships just so that we can make room. Room for passion and room for innovation. For aspirations and for vision. Room for bigger and better, but also for gentler and kinder. Room for determination and for love and all the things that we must make room for. Room for foresight and for delight. Room to thrive and to feel alive. Room for nature and for business. Room for greens and muddy browns and yellows and blues and pinks and all the colors you dream in. Room for the ethical and for the audacious, room for big and the bold and for subtle and the small, room for hopes and for prayers, room for the unknown and for the courage to go there. All the blood, sweat and tears, all the struggle and the grit and the grime, it all falls in place when the dream comes alive. So why do we build anything at all? Because when we build, we also make room. We are Brigade. In a world where we can make anything, we make room.
It's so adorable.
Why build buildings? Or cityscapes? Or homes, or offices, or malls, or schools? Why build anything at all? Because to build is to give shape to hopes and ambitions. Not just form to brick and mortar, but to make room for the things that truly matter. And when that is the dream, there's no resting on it. You just have to get out there and do its bidding. No matter how tough the going, you push back against doubts, against questions, and you make room for the impossible. Room for not fitting in. Because for the extraordinary, well, you've got to make room. We build iconic skyscrapers and landmark townships just so that we can make room. Room for passion and room for innovation. For aspirations and for vision. Room for bigger and better, but also for gentler and kinder. Room for determination and for love and all the things that we must make room for. Room for foresight and for delight. Room to thrive and to feel alive. Room for nature and for business. Room for greens and muddy browns and yellows and blues and pinks and all the colors you dream in. Room for the ethical and for the audacious, room for big and the bold and for subtle and the small, room for hopes and for prayers, room for the unknown and for the courage to go there. All the blood, sweat and tears, all the struggle and the grit and the grime, it all falls in place when the dream comes alive. So why do we build anything at all? Because when we build, we also make room. We are Brigade. In a world where we can make anything, we make room.
No, it is unmuted.
Oh, okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We extend a warm welcome to the 27th Annual General Meeting of Brigade Enterprises Limited. Let me introduce the directors and senior colleagues present in the meeting today. In the alphabetical order, I'll start with the executive directors. Mr. Amar Mysore, Executive Director, who has joined remotely.
Good morning,
Mr. Amar.
everybody.
Then Mr. Emma Jaishankar, Chairman and Managing Directors, sitting right next to me.
Good morning everyone.
Ms. Nirupa Shankar, who has joined remotely, Executive Director.
Good morning, everybody.
Ms. Pavitra Shankar, joined remotely, Executive Director.
Good morning.
Mr. Roshan Mathur, Executive Director, who has joined remotely.
Good morning, everyone.
Now I'll introduce the independent directors in the alphabetical order. Mr. Arun Raman, Independent Director, Chairman of the Nomination and Remuneration Committee, joined remotely. Mr. Biju Kurian, Independent Director, joined remotely.
Namaskar.
Mr. Pradeep Kumar Panja, Independent Director and Chairman of the Audit Committee, joined remotely.
Good morning.
Ms. Lakshmi Venkatachalam, Independent Director. I think she's having a technical issue on the screen. Dr. Venkatesh Panjabegeshan, Independent Director and Chairperson of the Stakeholders Relationship Committee.
Good morning, everybody.
Represented, I have my senior colleague Atul Goyal, who's sitting to the extreme right, and he's a CFO, and I'm the company secretary, Om Prakash here. The representatives of the statutory auditors, secretarial auditors, cost auditors, internal auditors, and senior management officials of the company are attending the meeting from their respective locations. Electronic inspection of statutory registers, ESOP certificates relating to 2011 scheme, 2017 scheme are available during the course of this meeting for online inspection. The requisite quorum for the meeting is present for the meeting. Considering the meeting is held through video conferencing, proxies are not allowed. Now I'll hand over the mic to the chairman.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I'm audible. It is my pleasure to welcome you all to the 27th AGM of your company. Due to gradual increase in COVID cases for the third time, we are holding the AGM virtually online. So this AGM is also different like last time. Therefore, if any technical glitches are there due to connectivity and software issues, kindly bear with the inconvenience. Of course, K-Fintech have a robust software and they have tried their best to take care of all the eventualities. The financial year 2021-22 has been a fairly good year for the real estate sector. Our world, hit by the dreaded Wuhan virus for the last 2 years, has seen 550 million people affected by the virus, 6.3 million people succumbing to it, including 1 million in the USA alone, and 20 million active cases still troubling people and governments. In this financial year, we encountered the third wave, which was the Omicron variant. Thankfully, due to the vaccination of a few billion people, the negative impact, except in China, was mitigated. Our own country has done very well to contain the COVID-19 virus because of the sensible approach of our general population and the government, resulting in more than 2,000 million vaccinations administered to the people of India. Kudos to the sheer determination of our central and state governments and to the efforts of our doctors and health workers. While this should not result in complacency in following health safety protocols, thankfully day-to-day life is moving forward normally. Residential real estate, which was recovering well after multiple virus variants and lockdowns, is being hit by a huge jump in construction costs. To give just one example, the price of construction steel has shockingly gone up by 60 to 80% since February 22. It is a highly volatile product. It has become a highly volatile product depending on government policies and whether exports are allowed or not. Furthermore, the cost of several other inputs that go into construction has also gone up. This is bound to have an impact of at least 12 to 15% increase in the construction cost. Added to this, the general inflation is on the rise and has breached 7% already, resulting in the hardening of bank interest rates, which means home loan rates will start inching up. For that matter, it has already gone up recently and expected to go up again once the RBI announces their revised interest policy in 3 days' time. The residential real estate business across markets performed well during the year with strong end user demand. We had surpassed all our yearly performances till date with the highest ever sales value as well as collections. We achieved an all-time high new bookings of 4.72 million square feet net bookings with a total value of 3,023 crore rupees. Total collections from the residential business for the year aggregated to rupees 3,152 crores. Our office business has remained stable with close to 99% collection and about 1 million square feet leased during the financial year under review. Hospitality business was impacted because of restrictions due to third wave of COVID-19, but showcased a sharp revival in average room rates post that, particularly since March onwards, March 22 onwards, and till July. The occupancies during the current year has been consistently going up. Whereas the retail vertical achieved higher retailer sales consumption compared to pre-COVID levels by more than 100% for like-to-like trading units, and consistent traction on the leasing front with new rental greater than 20% of the pre-COVID levels on an average. Brigade Group posted a revenue of rupees 3,066 crore for the financial year 22, as against rupees 2,010 crores in the previous year, which is a healthy increase of 52%. Earnings before depreciation, interest, tax, and amortization, normally referred to as EBITDA, stood at rupees 833 crores in financial year 22, as against rupees 532 crores in the previous financial year, which is an increase of again a healthy 56%. The profit after tax and monthly interest, after tax and minority interest was rupees 83 crores as against 46 crores loss in the previous year. Brigade has done fairly well in financial year 22 in all our 4 SBOs we operate in, which are residential, office, retail, and hospitality, in spite of all the challenges and not being able to launch many new projects due to delay in receipt of approvals. We are hoping and working towards a brighter financial year 23. Coming to dividend announcement, you are aware that for the year ended 31st March 2022, the Board of Directors have recommended a dividend of 15% on the increased capital. I recommend that the resolution is adopted when taken up. This year, we had the privilege of installing and unveiling the statue of the great Bharat Ratna awardee, late Sir M. Vishweshwaraya, opposite the Brigade School in the Brigade Gateway campus. Sir M.V.'s achievements will surely inspire the next generation of youngsters. Brigade and its people have also received a number of recognitions during the past few months. I would like to give a special mention that our Executive Director, Ms. Nirupa Shankar, was recognized by the Economic Times jury 40 under 40 nationally. With some amount of pride, I can also mention that Bangalore City University conferred on me doctorate, referred to as honoris causa degree, for the work done in infrastructure development and with a philanthropic approach for social cause. Naturally, I dedicate this recognition to my entire team in Brigade. In addition, Brigade has received many more awards. To name a few, CII Southern Region has given EHS Excellence Award for our building under construction, Brigade Twin Towers. We have also received the Safe Place to Work for the year 2021 and and creating a safe and harmonious workplace by Secure Us organization. Number 3, Brigade was also recognized as the best organization for women during the year 2022 by the Economic Times. Our executive director, Ms. Pavitra Shankar, was recognized by Business World's Women Entrepreneurship Award. Our World Trade Center Chennai was recognized as the Commercial Project of the Year by the 13th Realty Plus Conclave. Your company is quite resilient during these most challenging times, and we have managed to keep our heads above water, unlike many small and medium-sized businesses. We are continuing to do well and hope the year ahead will be good. Our approach is to survive, stabilize, and then grow the business by 20 to 25% on year on year, if not more. Before I close, I would like to thank you, shareholders, on behalf of all the directors for the confidence reposed in the company. I'd also like to place on record my sincere thanks to the staff of Brigade Group for their good work and contribution to the growth of the company. I would like to record my thanks to all other stakeholders like bankers, auditors, architects, consultants, contractors, landowner associates, vendors for their cooperation and support, and most importantly, to our valued customers without whom no business can survive. Lastly, my thanks to all other directors on board for their contribution and participation during the year and their guidance to me, which has helped me discharge my responsibilities. Last but not the least, to the support received from my own family members. Thank you for your patient hearing. Jai Hind. The annual report, including the notice of the meeting and unqualified statutory auditor's report, and the financial statements have been emailed to the shareholders, and I suggest the same be taken as read. Now I request the company secretary to give general instructions and brief on the proceedings.
Thank you, sir. The annual report of the company for the financial year 2021-22 has been sent by electronic means to all the shareholders in accordance with the applicable guidelines issued by the regulatory authorities. The company has provided to the members the facility for remote e-voting on the proposed resolutions from Friday, the 29th of July 2022, 9 a.m. to Monday, 1st of August 2022, 5 p.m. through the voting platform provided by KFin Technologies Limited, registrar and transfer agents of the company. Members who have not voted through remote e-voting can vote through the InstaPoll option made available by KFintech by clicking on the left-hand button of the screen. Once the same is enabled on the instructions of the chairman, the company has appointed Mr. K. Rajshekar, practicing company secretary, as a scrutinizer to scrutinize the e-voting process. The result of the meeting, along with the scrutinizer's report, shall be intimated to the stock exchanges within 2 working days from the conclusion of the meeting, and the same will also be uploaded on the website of the company and website of the stock exchanges, as well as the website of KFintech, registrar and transfer agent of the company. The resolutions will not be proposed and seconded. Combined results of remote e-voting and e-voting during the meeting will be considered for approval of the resolutions. Now, a few instructions relating to the shareholders registered for speaking at this meeting. All registered speakers have been kept on mute. Speakers will be unmuted once their name is called. Speed and working of the audio-video mode for joining the meeting by members depends on their internet capacity. If there is any technical glitch at the speaker shareholder's end, we will proceed with the next speaker shareholder and get back to you again after the technical glitch is sorted out. If any unanswered questions are there, then the same will be responded by email. I would now request the chairman to move the resolutions.
Thank you, Om Prakash. With the permission of the members, I now move the resolutions by calling the brief description of the resolutions proposed to be passed. Resolution number 1, adoption of standalone financial statements and consolidated financial statements of the company for the financial year ended March 31st, 2022, and the reports of the board of directors and auditors thereon. Resolution number 2, declaration of dividend of rupees 1.50 per share for the financial year 2021-22, which is 15%.
Since the resolution number 3, the chairman is interested, I will read it out. Appointment of Mr. M.R. Jaishankar as director liable to retire by rotation. Over to you, sir.
Resolution number 4, appointment of Mr. Amar Mysore as a director liable to retire by rotation. Resolution number 5, ratification of remuneration payable to Messrs. Murthy and Company LLP, cost accountants for the financial year 2021-22. The e-voting window shall now be activated for members to vote during the AGM. Members are requested to vote by clicking on the vote button visible on the left-hand bottom of your screen. Company Secretary is authorized to declare the consolidated voting results. Now, I shall be glad to answer questions concerning the Director's report and audited financial statements. The moderator shall call the name of the speaker and then you can speak. I request the speakers not to repeat the questions and confine the speech to matter relating to the annual report. Answers to all questions will be provided after all speakers have completed asking their questions. As mentioned earlier, if any questions are not fully answered, we will respond the same by email. Now we will, now I take up the questions.
We request our first speaker, Mr. Ashit Kumar Pathak. Mr. Ashit Kumar Pathak, to unmute your audio, switch on your camera and proceed, sir.
Yeah, am I audible, sir? Yeah.
Hello. I am audible, sir.
You are audible, sir. Kindly proceed.
Yes, yes. Very good morning, respected Chairman, MD, CFO, Board of Directors, and Company Secretary. My name is Ashit Kumar Pathak, joining from Damdam, Kolkata. Many thanks to Mr. P. Om Prakash, Company Secretary, for sending me the notice and annual report very well in advance. And also thanks to Karvi and NSDL also. Very nice, excellent representations from respected Chairman. I have noted the all valuable points: recovery of residential real estate, strong in demand, higher ever sales value, 99% collection. Very nice progression. This is my view. I like to share. But sir, I have some viewpoints. Sir, in consolidated, finance cost is very higher than previous year. But in standalone basis, you nicely reduce the finance cost. And also we have 17 direct subsidiaries, 2 step-down subsidiaries, 2 limited liability partnership, and 2 associated companies. So I think this is maybe shortlisted because the consolidated performance is impact in our standalone performance. So this to be noted, sir. Also, total profit we net achieved 83 crores mentioned in the annual report. Also, we rewarded ESOP options to company and subsidiaries and associated companies. And also amalgamated wholly owned subsidiary Orion Projects Management Services Private Limited with WTC Trading Center. Sir, in respect to cost optimization, what steps my company taken? Because subcontract cost of raw materials, consolidated finance cost, other expenses, depreciation and amortization cost, and establishment costs also. Also, thanks to respected Chairman, also reduced the remuneration 9.26% and 3 executive directors. This is very strive. I appreciate it, respected Chairman, this. Also, step taken the lowering the consolidated inventory, because consolidated inventories is higher than previous year, and also standalone reducing nicely, and debt reduction policy. And sir mentioned average cost of debt in 7.65 financial year 22. But sir, present repo rate high, have you any impact in our average cost on debt? If possible, throw some highlights about this. And also at present situation, higher inflation in raw materials, and also urban CPIU increases 9.1%, and MCLR housing loan also increased by the bank. Any impact in our business operation, if possible, through some highlights. Sir, promoter holding may be high to 43.88 to 50%. And through some highlights, our CapEx program from ESG framework, mostly water conservation, afforestation, decarbonization, where mostly climate is changing with heat waves, and initiated for saving soils. Sir, any future plan to project in Tier 2, Tier 3 cities, if possible, show some highlights? Because our net completed total 215 buildings and 76 plus square feet in 7 cities. But all our projects in related to luxury residential development, commercial, retail, and also hospitality and education sectors. Sir, it mentioned capex program financial year 22, 282 crores against 660 crores previous year. Sir, in media report, many India real estate developers recorded home sales rupees 10,000 crores on record and demand for 21-22. The Prestige Group planned to invest rupees 7,500 in Mumbai also, where we have no business footprint in Mumbai and Pune. And if possible, throw some highlights our capex program next to 2 years. If possible, throw some highlights. Finally, sir, in not least, West Bengal government in state budget session 22-23 declared 2% discount on stamp duty for registration of houses and lands and 10% discounts on circle race votes up to 30 September 2022. Sir, we also take these facilities in our projects at Karnataka states, Tamil Nadu states, and Kerala states. If possible, throw some highlights. Nothing to say more. Expected everybody with good health and the prosperity of my company. Thanking you, sir.
Thank you, sir. I now invite our next speaker, Mr. K. Bharatraj. Mr. K. Bharatraj, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera, and proceed, sir. Mr. K. Bharatraj. So there is no response from the speaker. We now move on to our next speaker, Mr. Rajesh Kevalram Chainani. Mr. Rajesh Kevalram Chainani, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera, and proceed, sir. Mr. Rajesh Kevalram Chainani has not logged in currently. I now move on to our next speaker, Mr. Ramesh Shankar Golla. Mr. Ramesh Shankar Golla, we request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera, and proceed, sir. So Mr. Ramesh Shankar Golla has not joined the meeting currently, sir. I now move on to our next speaker, Mr. Ashok Chakravarti S. Mr. Ashok Chakravarti S. We request you to unmute your audio, switch on your camera, and proceed, sir.
Very good morning, sir. Hello.
You're audible, sir. Kindly proceed, sir. Thank you.
Sir, my name is S. Ashok Chakravarti, speaking from Bangalore, sir. Very, very good morning to all the members, sir. Hope the recent showcase has been a very grand success, and I will be glad if you can give any details of expenditure for this such a showcase marketing, and if possible, you can the management can give the what you call it bookings done for this in this showcase, sir. And one more, as a resident of South Bangalore, I also request you to consider any such showcase things in South Bangalore. Not only because Sheraton is in your complex, but at the same time, if any possibility is there, please consider to conduct such showcase things for South Bangalore also, sir. Sir, in this connection, I also wish to inform the management. Some hotel companies, corporates managing the hotel restaurants are sending discount coupons to the shareholders for availing at their restaurants. It may not be possible for all the people to come to hotels like Sheraton or something. But one thing, if the management can consider and examine the subject of what you call it, sending discount coupons, shareholders also can come and enjoy at our hotel restaurants, maybe Sheraton or other restaurants, sir. Please consider And because as it is prevailing in the market, please consider to send discount coupons for our hotel restaurants also, sir. Sir, if you have any projections for this 2023, basing on this 2022 figures, you can give the guidance, sir. And one more thing, I hope that the hospitality sector has got momentum after this pre-COVID situation, and hope the management is expecting very good results and bookings or profits, everything in this current financial year also, sir. I am very optimistic about the Brigade Group, and I hope all the best, sir. Thank you very much for having given this opportunity, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We once again request Mr. K. Bharatraj to unmute your audio, switch on your camera and proceed, sir.
Yeah, very good morning, Mr. Chairman. Hello.
You're audible, sir. Kindly proceed.
Yeah, just I'm opening video also, sir.
Okay, sir. In the meanwhile, you can proceed with your work.
Yeah, very good morning, Mr. Chairman, entire board of directors. First of all, I'm happy to see you all safe, healthy, and fine, sir. I'm very proud to associate with Brigade Group, sir, because the Brigade Group is a brand where it created in Bangalore and all over India a very good elite building, sir. In these 35 years of celebration, my company has provided me a wonderful dividend, and I thank the management for the wonderful awards you received all over India, sir. So my question is why the profits have come down in this financial year. After this post-COVID, sir, what is the average cost for the construction per square feet, sir? The cost has increased. So how is the per square feet, sir? I congratulate the management for the wonderful CSR, Wahoo you spending, sir. I thank our executive director, Ms. Pavitra, Ms. Nirupama, for receiving the awards. Last year also, one of our executive directors has received the award. Madam, these awards are the beginning. There is no end for you. In future also, you receive the Peacock Awards and more international awards from our company side. I thank Mr. Amar, our executive director, sir. Very humble man. Whenever I called, he is always accessible for any queries or any issues. Even he is helping out for Hyderabad project, sir. Sir, in page number 234, can you please kindly provide me the breakup for the miscellaneous expenses? Sir, any future plans for hotel project in Hyderabad? Sir, one of my shareholder has requested for the discount coupons. I recommend for the discount coupons in Sheraton or other holiday groups so that we can avail, sir. Once again, entire board of directors, management, thank you. All the best for coming years. I thank Mr. Om Prakash, sir. Wonderful person, sir. He is asset of our company. He is always accessible for any queries or anything. Thank you, Mr. Om Prakash, for arranging wonderful VC. Once again, all the best for coming years, sir. Take care. God bless you. All the best for coming years, sir.
Thank you, sir. Sir, with this, we complete the speaker session, sir. We hand over it back to the boardroom. Thank you.
Now I'll take up answering the questions raised. In the first case, yes, we agree the standalone results. In the standalone results, the interest cost is less, but in the consolidated results, the interest cost is quite high, primarily because of two joint venture projects with the GIC, which are all commercial projects, and substantially it is all lease rent discounting. It is lease rent discounting at an attractive rate of it was below 7%. Now it may be, with the recent increases, it is just marginally more than 7% thing. And other than that, the overall interest rate is quite healthy. So it is primarily these two projects where we have large lease rent discounting loans. On cost optimization, it is an ongoing process year after year. Our executive directors, Roshan Matthew and Amar Mysore, are fully involved in it. It's a combination of design issues and negotiations with contractors, material purchases, and maybe doing away with frivolous add-ons. So that way it is. That way it is. I would say. optimization will continue to be there as part of our agenda. But the thing is, when general material costs like steel, cement increases, there is very little we can do other than try to pass it on to the customer over a period of time. Overnight, it may not be possible, but it is done over a period of time. And our average cost of debt also is quite good, but now it is started inching up because of because of the general increase in interest cost. And currently it is in the range of 7.65%, and which has come down from 9% in December 20 in the last 2 years to 7.65%. We need to see how much, how many basis points it is likely to go up in the next few months, which is entirely based on Reserve Bank announcements. And we appreciate your suggestion on ESG framework, water conservation, etc., which is certainly an ongoing process for Brigade in every project. It is not just now, even earlier. On the CapEx program, see, we also have lined up quite a few large projects involving, investments in the next a few years, maybe three to 4 years, as much as 4 to 5,000 crores. So what is mentioned as 234 crores, etc., is only for a specific project and for a specific period. And we do not have any plans of entering Mumbai or Pune markets. We would like to concentrate and focus our efforts on Bangalore, Chennai, and Hyderabad primarily, and with some activity in existing projects we have in Kochi and Gift City and Mysore. That will continue to be there. And coming to the other questions of concerning showcase by Mr. Ashok Chakravarti, see, the overall expenditure is about 2.5 crores for the showcase. It is a flagship event of the organization for the last 15 years, and it is done for the entire city, NRIs, and for foreign nationals of Indian origin who generally visit during July-August period. It has to be held somewhere, and Sheraton Grand being our flagship hotel, we hold it here, which has got good parking facilities and good facilities in general. So it is not for south or north or anything like that. But we also hold periodically regional events, not called a showcase, but every so it's a much smaller scale event in whether it is in south or east. They're held sometimes along with the CREDI, sometimes with few bankers, sometimes on our own. And we appreciate your suggestion to give discount coupons to shareholders for all our hotels. It will certainly be accepted and will be incorporated in the next year. Next year we'll do that. As regards giving guidance for 2023, with the company generally does not give guidance, year after year. But we have given a indication. The intention is to grow in the range of 20 to 25%, if not more. That sort of I feel may be taken as an indication. And as regards the cost per square foot of construction, it all depends on the type of construction, whether it is super luxury, or high income group, or middle income group, or affordable housing, etc. But having said that, it ranges anywhere between 2,250 rupees to 3,500 rupees and more. Super luxury can cost even 4,000 rupees per square foot and even more. And added to that, in the last from 2019, the GST Council has changed the input tax. They have removed the input tax credit, so that adds about 18% of GST on the construction cost, If you add that that alone, from whatever figures I mentioned, that will become another 400 to 800 rupees a square foot. Will be the impact of loss of input tax credit on GST, depending on the cost, whether it is 2,250 or whether it is 4,000 rupees, that way. And on the breakup of miscellaneous expenditure, our CFO, Mr. Atul Goyal, will respond to you. And here again, the gentleman also asked for the discount coupon. As mentioned earlier, we will incorporate in the next year. Over to Atul Goyal.
Yeah, hello, good morning. The miscellaneous expenses mainly consist of the hotel expenses which are there for our business vertical. It has been clubbed into miscellaneous expenses because the amount of expenses in compared to total is very minuscule. That's why it has been taken into miscellaneous expenses.
I trust we have answered all the questions. And now I would like to say the members who have not voted may now cast their vote. The e-voting will end on casting of the last vote or 15 minutes from the end of this meeting, whichever is earlier. I now declare the meeting as closed. Stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you. Jai Hind.
You are now muted.